I am here. Your lord. Your god. Jagos. Jagos! I am here. Hi, everybody. Your god. Jagos. Welcome, welcome. We have Lou in the room. Let's see if he comes over into a viewable area. Actually, he somewhat is right now. This would be the first sighting of Lou. Welcome, welcome. We have Lou in the room. Let's see if he comes over into a viewable area. Actually, he somewhat is right now. Hello, book nerd. Please more cats. Pick. I hope that's the correct way to pronounce it. Claire. Cursed Count. Did I already say? Yeah, I already said Cursed Counter. Sorry. Trey Pavlik. Chrisomancy. Cecilia Aragorn. Hello, book nerd. I believe that's everybody so far. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Claire. Cursed Count. Hey Lou, where you going? Okay. Well, he might have been in view, I suppose. Cecilia Aragorn. I believe that's everybody so far. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Yeah, this is the one I want. All right. We're back. We're with it. I knew that would be the thing that I forgot to do, was to mute my own stream. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know. Pick asks how I am doing. I am very well. I just got done biking, doing a biking workout, and barely squeezed the cool down and clean up and everything in time, so. And I'm premiering a Diminished tomorrow, so that's also a reason to feel good about things. Ugh. One moment, actually. I got sweat all over my mouse pad earlier, so I'm gonna get something for that. Might as well use the other side to clean up my chair a little bit. Let that dry. He normally is so... I don't know why he's wary of my room, but Mimi was the same way, so maybe he'll come around. Okay. Chris Mancy is doing good, just had some baked potato. Nice. Now Cecilia says that they are already sleepy. There you go. We will reach the point where you fall asleep before I actually show up on screen during the getting ready part. Probably because of art class today. You powered through a lot. Oh, wow. Yeah, that'll do it. Chris Mancy says, tomorrow's premiere would be the first premiere I catch, and I gotta say, they're great for building hype and letting people know there's a new vid. Yeah, I really like the premiere system. I enjoy it as a viewer, and I really enjoy it as a creator. Deeply enjoy it. I think it's a very fun feature. Dennis. Apollo plushie. Wait, did I miss something? Is that an actual thing right now? I didn't mean to go back that far, but that's fine. Celia says, I want to catch every stream. Well, don't feel as though missing streams would be the end of the world, but it is nice to have you. Glad that you enjoy them. We're demanding an Apollo plushie. I see. Okay, Apollo plushie now. I am not skilled in tactile at all. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Let me look up tactile to see that I'm using the word correctly, because yeah, like tactile art. Yeah, that works, I suppose. Chris Mancy says, I keep hearing of this company that approaches popular channels to make limited mascot plushies. Ah, I see. I feel like Apollo would make a decent plushie. Tactical plushies, yes. It's good to have you all here. Thanks for being here once again. Just probably gonna be super chill again. There's not really an order of business planned at all. Just hanging out. Once again, making good of this opportunity that is presented to me by all of you. Just to exist in an environment that I enjoy being in. It's somewhat social. So thank you for that again. Cal's currently unnamed diminished fan game featuring Apollo, who is a statue until I find a way to animate them. Great title. That should be the title. No. Name it whatever you want. But it's a great working title. Catching up on a lot of stuff right now. Tactical plushies like backpacks. Tactical friendship! That sounds like a wonderful ability in an anime. That's a bit better. That bothered me when I looked at it yesterday. I could probably also do a bit of this. Seems a bit better orientation there. Sorry guys, just checking some things out around the internet. Nice, the live chat in the premiere is popping off a little bit. Welcome to Saria Song Streams, Stare at Empty Canvas edition. Yep. Yes, Theo, new premiere coming out. And welcome. Hope you're doing well. So if I do draw something, I might just sketch a little bit of Tails or something. I'm feeling like drawing my emotional support boy. Phantom, you're just in time. How are you doing? It's good to see you. I was just thinking about drawing some Tails. Yes, my ESB, my emotional support boy. Theo says, "Oh, question I hope I already know the answer to. Is the cat in Diminish real and a live performer?" Yes. Yes, that is just one of the 4 cats in this household who really likes to come in and yell at me all the time. Every single time it happened, it was unplanned. Yeah, that you can hear the cat meow fairly often. Yeah, Nancy says live performer is such a fun title for a cat. Indeed. 4 cats, yes. Yeah, Claire says just a chatty little boy. Yes. Correct. King Ozza says, my family has 5 cats. Wonderful. Claire says, my cats are so quiet. In comparison, it's so foreign to me when people have loud cats. It always happens that way, doesn't it? Like, there's always... Whenever there are qualities of your pets that are uncommon or that, like, deprive you of some personality trait, then whenever you have multiple ones, it seems like they always follow the same behaviors. And that's not the sort of way that I wanted to approach it. Like, the way that the animal is with their personality is depriving you of things whenever they're not a certain way, but what I meant was, like, whenever you have a bunch of quiet pets, you don't know what it's like to have a bunch of loud ones, or whenever you don't have pets that cuddle, you don't know what it's like. You don't have any pets that like being rubbed in the belly, stuff like that. You just have a very different pet experience. Yeah, Please More Cats notes that my cat has a pretty good stage timing with when they show up in the episodes. Before seeing them in the streams, I also thought they might have been fake because they seem scripted with how well they fit with what's going on. Like showing up to either comfort or annoy you even more at high tension moments. It baffles me as well. It's kind of ridiculous. He also says, I remember people were theorizing you were going to kill off the cat. I can't even imagine things like that. Hey, Mimi! Speak of the devil. Come here. Mimi is doing her streamly appearance. Come on. Mimi. Don't do that. She usually only comes in here when she follows me. She came here completely of her own accord this time. Where are you? Cal says, one of my cats meows constantly at 2 in the morning. The other one watches TV. That is the cat experience. God, I hope they keep us on this match. Me. Trey says, my cat always wakes me up in the middle of the night every time I forget to close my door. Yeah, Frisky had been waking me up in the middle of the night quite often recently. I'll do that on a different layer. Keep things consistent. So you should have a bit more volume. Emotional support boy. Look at this young man. Phantom says, I only have doggos. Doggos are great too. As long as they're good. and actually great. Same goes for cats. Same goes for everything in the world, in the universe. Chris and Nancy says, I don't have any pets. I'm just vicariously enjoying them through pics of my brother's cat. Aw. Trey says, my medicine also basically prevents me from going back to sleep afterwards, too. I always have to watch YouTube for a few hours and then finally fall asleep again. That's so annoying. I'm so sorry. Phantom says, I have a friend that swears the only other thing in their house is a very dark shadow entity that appears at 9 p.m. I just have no words. I was trying to think of something clever, but also, like, demonstrating that I also think about such things, but I've got nothing. I'm not smart enough. Trey says, on weekends it's fine, but days that I have to wake up at 8 for class is kind of annoying. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, they're keeping us here. Nice. Holy cow! There are 14 people waiting in the diminished premiere. 16. I maxed out on 10 people during the premieres from episodes 10 to 16. And I was thrilled about that. There are people just chilling, looking at the thumbnail. 16 of them. What a time to be alive right now. See if I know anything about how to draw anything in this universe, or if I just flounder. So yes, Tails is gonna look different here. In the story that I'm writing, Tails is older, and I feel like a lot of people love doing the same thing with Tails, but and right now he is displaying the sass. Just trying to figure out how that pose works. Oh man, doing this hand pose with gigantic hands and small bodies is interesting. Also, doing Sonic bodies in general is weird to me. I tend to struggle with going cartoonish enough. How do you do this? does not bode well for my ability to make a webcomic. Trying to get the sassy hips pose. People in the premiere room don't need to be here. This stream environment is amazing for me. Like, everybody here is just so wonderful. I keep saying it the same way every time, but it's just always true. Okay, maybe that's part of it. Yeah, I think that was part of it. Okay. I think that's more what I was looking for with the body shape. Even drawing a character this simple, I'm so slow. I still don't know if it's turning out quite the way that I would like it to. King Ozza, I'm trying to zero in on the Tails design for my fan story currently. So no. This is not Boomtails. Darn it, that's not the right... I just need more practice with drawing these characters, honestly, but... This is still not... Still looks like hunched over. Yeah. Maybe... Armless tails. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Art. Why is art so hard? I'll just go with this. Trying to add a bit more personality. That's not the way to do it. Oh, I think his head needs to be bigger actually. Gosh, it's embarrassing. I have a lot of chat to catch up on. Sorry. Sorry. Theo says, oh hey, I have no idea how far it is in development, but have you ever thought of putting Project Xadia forward for the Godot showcase? I have not. That's a thought. And after updating Godot, I realized that my build of Project Zadia to that point was completely corrupted. So I kind of have to do it from scratch, at least in the game engine. I don't have to make like new music or new graphics or anything. I don't have to make the entire project from scratch, but at Diminished Tales, oh gosh, I'm glad that this stream is so enjoyable for everybody. For many people, I should say. It always comes back to Apollo's Pizza. Why, though? Trey says, the plot twist at the end of Diminish is that Tails just takes Apollo on his plane and rides into the sunset. Spoilers. Chris says, ooh, gotta put that in the laundry, maybe I'll come back with chocolate ice cream. Apollo Police Department. Apollo Delivery. Apollo Industries. Apollo Industries has to be like 16,000 different companies. It has to be a very real name. King also says, when you were living up tricking all the time, did you ever imagine you would settle down and make a TGIF project that would be adored by thousands of people? King Ozo, I can't say I did. I can't say I did. But King also says they'll be making a Dragon Prince fan game. Can't say that either. Although, the entire time I was I knew the whole time that I wanted to have a life in creative works and in art. I always knew that my biggest dream was to become like a showrunner slash game designer slash just a general creator. And I was planning on making something fan related for Sonic all this time. His arms were accidentally looking too defined there. I swear I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to get a sense for what everything should look like. Although this Tails does indeed work out. That is true. Crush Counter says, we found your Reddit account. You mean the Diminished Reddit account? It wasn't like a big secret or anything. But I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I guess the solution is to, like, do the hand on the hip where the fist is kind of clenched and going this way. I guess that's how you're supposed to do it. Like this. I do end up liking how this version of Tails looks with, like broader shoulders. I end up keeping it in. Shoulders that you can kind of see. I don't know what I'm doing. See, the thing about my Tails is he's supposed to be, like, disconcertingly tall. That's kind of... There's like a running joke in my little series about how puberty was really awkward for him. And one of the things that happened was he just had a gigantic, absurd growth spurt. And I know a lot of people imagine Tails getting super tall, because of course that's amazing. But this is Tails getting, like, tall in not necessarily a happy way. Or the rest of his body just doesn't quite accommodate. And this drawing doesn't quite capture that at all. What? He has a neck? Heresy. Yeah, this really isn't doing quite what I want, but that's the way it always happens. Gosh. Yeah, this doesn't really look how I wanted it to. It's plight of every half-decent artist who hasn't quite reached, or maybe it's the plight of like literally every artist, probably more along those lines, but you know. Emotional support boy just made me sad because I can't draw him the way I want. Hello, Desi Desi. Hope you're well. King also says, I wonder if the disproportionate height growth came with a disproportionate voice change. It did. And very gravelly and constantly breaking. Idea for one of my moments was Knuckles eventually saying to him, like, dude, I can't believe you're still sick. And Tails is like, what do you mean? And Knuckles is like, your voice has sounded so awful for so long. You sound like a dying lawnmower. And Tails is like, Knuckles, it's called puberty. And Knuckles is like, oh, it sounds contagious. Don't get too close. Tails, more like Talls. Oh god. Wrecked. Actually wrecked. Holy crap. I don't think I have any idea of how to draw him from the side. At least with the ear. Classic Nux, says King Azo, indeed. Yeah, so I think everybody in the planet imagines older tails with longer fur. With, like, it being like that in the back, you know? And honestly, who am I to argue? This one's for the Diminished fans. You know what I'm about to do. You know what's coming. This is for the Diminished fans. There you go. No, it does need to be farther out, though. That's the thing. It needs to be, like, out here for it to be truly Apollo-worthy. That's the good stuff. There's the Apollo. Didn't look too bad, honestly. Now just to figure out the frickin' shape of his head. Cal asks, did you catch the conversation about old Paulo? Yes, I did. Chris says, I forgot to put soap in the laundry, so that was a whole thing. Oh, darn. Sorry to hear that. Chris says, reminds me, I have an OC with hair that works like kitsune tails. Kitsune tails. The older he becomes, the more cartoon hair tufts he gains, which can tie back into a ponytail. I approve. Definitely. Oh, I see how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to taper back that way. so if the chest is puffed out more like that, then the shoulder should be lower. Which only further emphasizes how it looks like he has a neck. And shoulder definition. And long arms. Yep, you guys have figured me out. Apollo is just Tails in the future or something. It's solved. How does this work? That's a thing. But also, I did imagine his fur being messy. Like, how do you do this without making there be crazy shoulder definition? Chris, oh yeah, Chris says, I'm reminded such because I'm just imagining now older Tails with 2 ponytails because, yeah. Of course. That is fair. It's too bad whenever the thing that you're trying to draw for emotional support just makes you stressed out because you're not doing it the way you want. the perspective wrong on that a bit. That's partially why it was wigging me out. Definitely not the only thing, though. God. Cecilia says, I'm gonna sleep with the stream on in the BG. I love these drawings so far. Thank you, Cecilia, and have a good sleep. Just don't complicate it so much. Yeah, that's kind of like how a sonic body works, right? Somewhat. Yeah, good night, Cecilia, everyone. Also, Sonic Body sounds like the name of an auto parts store or something. Phantom says, been having a lot of dreams lately. Good dreams, I hope? And again, I do kind of like the subtle connection there. The suggestion of a shoulder. Sonic Body Auto Parts. There's only kind of one Sonic art that I made recently that came out pretty fast and I'm happy with. Let me see if I can find it. Phantom says, just dreams. They're always random and everywhere. I don't mind nightmares or good ones. Do you tend to not have dreams, then? And by the context there, I assume that you're just thrilled at the prospect of having dreams. Hello, Kitty. Hello. Hello. You're always going everywhere at once. I can't keep up with you. Yeah? Oh yeah? Also, I found it. Dizzy says, I'm drawing Diminish Apollo dressed like my Apollo. Yes. Elf clothes don't fit on Wolf Boy. You make him fit. Smash that square peg into a round hole. Kingslayer says, my first character was from my reoccurring nightmare. Wow. That is, I think, a healthy way to deal with that. It's cool when that happens, whenever dreams that have such an effect on you that you create them into reality in the form of something creative. Phantom says, I dream a lot and I can usually remember more than one when I wake up. A person typically dreams more than once a night because of entering and exiting REM sleep, yeah. So my main music comes from my dreams, same, yeah. It hasn't happened as often these days, but... Kingslayer says, interesting way to have a concrete visual of it, but honestly creeps me out, since I still have it from time to time. Oh yeah. I just want to draw so much Tails, but I don't know if I have the ability to draw what's in my head, and that just makes me sad. Like this. It just makes me like this. Well, I'm looking at one from like a year before this. One that I showed you, and I do feel better about myself seeing that. Hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at some of this and I'm like, ugh. Like, this one over here, not proud of anymore. Don't look at that. No. Bad. And this still isn't the style that I want. Oh god. Although it does emphasize more how tall he is. It's still, it's not quite the Sonic look that I wanted. This looks a bit closer. Hmm. Chris says, I love dream characters, oh man. Yeah, King also says, I think that's a really cool way of coping, like, screw you, I control you now. Cal says, I keep thinking of chicken when I hear Apollo, because the Italian word for chicken is pollo, yeah. And Italian isn't even my primary language. Kingslayer says, it's actually why I wanted to get better at drawing. It was so I could see him in a different light, yeah. Thank you, King Lazo. Phantom says, that's crazy, man. I've only ever had one specific nightmare that ever reoccurred. I have the same normal dream twice. I think might have just been a similar one, I guess, a dream deja vu. I have several reoccurring situations that will revisit me now and then into what I assume is, like, the duration of my life. I get reoccurring dreams every once in a while. But it's never like the exact same events happen every single time. It's just I'm exploring a similar place or similar events are occurring around me. But they're always quite tame, so... When I was younger, of course, I had reoccurring nightmares. Kingslayer says my nightmare's whole idea was I could never see him fully, so I coped by revealing him in a drawing. Hello, Glitch. It's been an hour and a half. What? I haven't done anything! I've just failed at a couple of sketches. This one isn't so bad, but I want to draw, like, action poses and stuff. I know I'd be able to draw him swimming and that would look decent, but I draw swimming way too often. I want to draw other things. Dizzy says, actually, wait, doesn't it say Apollo's height is 5'3"? The clothes would be big for him. And says, also, I'm loving tall tales. Nice. Yes, this is quite a tall tale, isn't it? Cal says, also sorry if my message doesn't match up with the conversation. I'm currently drawing assets, and I just kind of appearing occasionally. You're fine. Phantom says, wait, that reminds me of what someone told me about their dreams once. They would have the same dream every so often, and sometimes several nights in a row. They would get a little farther in it every time. They never reached the end of it. I think I've had that before too, yeah. And I've definitely had people talk about that. That's very interesting. King also says, my nightmares when I was younger used to be me getting chased by monsters or eldritch demons, yeah. My nightmares nowadays are, oh god, I have to do another year of high school. Yeah, one of the feelings that I have in a dream that is like one of the worst feelings that I have in dreams nowadays is when I think that I'm in class and it's like, oh no, I'm 5 months into this class and I haven't done any work and everything is due in like 3 days. That is also kind of a reoccurring situation. That is one of the worst feelings that I have in a dream, especially one that's reoccurring. So I'm pretty lucky with the dreams that I have. Yeah, Please More Cat says, Serious Short Stream Song. Yeah, that is my middle name. Kingslayer says, my nightmare was the same thing every time. I'd wake up in my house with not a soul nearby, with him watching in the woods. And I'd repeatedly wake up each time I saw him. Yeah. Chris says, Mood King. I keep having, oh god, I'm late to enrollment nightmares. Oh god, I can't find my classroom. I forgot this project. Yeah, for me, it's usually like an end-of-term situation where I just didn't do anything for it. Or like a crucial make-or-break test, end-of-term test is coming up, and it's always like math-related, and I just don't know any of the concepts. It's weird because that's not really how school went for me, but... Jackomoth, welcome. Jackomoth says, I get stage play nightmares a lot. Yeah, sometimes I'll be like stepping out onto the field for a marching band show and I won't know any of the dots or anything. And yeah, I do get that with theater as well. Yes, I've been having those actually quite recently, all of a sudden. That has been a fairly reoccurring thing, where I've been getting ready to step out onto the stage to play the main part of a show. Usually it's, we're like putting on, like, the cast is coming back to do the show that I did my senior year, which was Once Upon a Mattress, and I was Sir Harry. And usually the dream, I think, is just like we all got back together and we're doing that show again, and we were supposed to learn all of our parts again, and then the night of the play arrives, and I have realized that I didn't do any of that. It won't be long, it won't be long, it won't because it can't be long before our dreams come true. Because you know I don't belong, and furthermore I can't belong to anyone but you. All of that except the pitches are not all missed. In a little while, just a little while, you and I will be 1, 2, 3, 4. In a little while I will see your smile on the face of my son. To be forever hand in glove is the way I had it planned. For... No. Okay, yeah, see, I just ruined that play in my dream. For I'll only be in love if the glove contains your hand. There we go. Saria's songs. Yeah, I only ever was in one theater play, and it was my senior year of high school. And that's, I mean, like, talking about high school plays. I was in a few productions when I was in college, when I was studying theater. Please More Cat says, I haven't had too many dreams I'd really call nightmares, but in the past year or so I've had the reoccurring situation of strangers trying to break into my house, and it's terrifying. Yeah. That's more along the lines of a type of dream I would have when I was younger. Yeah, King also says, my nightmares are always like the first day. Now I've got 10 months of this BS ahead of me. Interestingly, a lot of my good dreams lately have been like, I'm back in high school, yay, because my senior year was like the only year that I felt like I was getting the high school experience that I always wanted. And so I really miss that experience. And so whenever I am back in high school, in my dreams, like, and I like, for some reason I'm my age now, but I'm just back in high school, like, it's this reoccurring situation where I'm just voluntarily enrolled in high school as a 26-year-old, and I'm loving it. I'm eating it up to a certain extent, and like, but only because it's like this super like laissez-faire affair where like I only have to go some days, you know. And now I have the hiccups. Chris says, most of my school nightmares are in different maze-like versions of the schools I've been to. always involving spiraling stairs or having to go across a mile to reach the other side of the school. I've had a version of that as well, where, again, it's not a nightmare, but it's just the school is in such an interesting layout where I always end up in this spiral staircase area, and it's like 16 billion stories tall, and so there's always this feeling of peril whenever you're in there. Lucy says the last nightmare that I recall having was being crushed by an escalator. Indeed. That stinks. Kingslayer says, don't know if he represented anything, but this is quite literally the first time I've mentioned him. Wow. Well, I'm honored that this was the place where you felt it was the time to bring him up for the first time ever. And I hope that you're able to improve things with him. Giacomoff says, senior year is my worst one in high school. Then again, I very rarely enjoyed high school. Didn't start feeling myself until college. Yeah, I think that's very common. Chris says, oh god, imagining that building alone is a nightmare. Tails didn't work out so well, and I don't think I'm actually going to do anything with this. I just wanted to look at it, see what it looks like after not looking at it for a while. Alright, I think I'm going to progress to watching tennis because that was a bit of a bust in terms of what I wanted out of that drawing session. King also said, if I had to pinpoint a time in my life where my depression really started to get bad for me, it was probably halfway through high school. I'm really sorry to hear that. And unfortunately, middle school and high school tend to be periods of time when people have their worst life experiences and their worst mental states. Actually, I might work on another version of a sketch that I just saw when I was looking through things just now. I think I just need to get more disciplined with starting out drawings of Sonic characters with this sort of outline. Yeah, this is already better than the one that I started out this session with. I can already tell. Look at this tall young man. I just keep exclaiming things like this when I draw. Don't lose that volume. The dimension. Why do I like drawing tails with shoulders? And yes, I know, if I'm being honest with myself, it's because I'm obsessed with drawing muscles, and my version of Tails is very strong, and I, of course, can't stop myself from trying to show that visually. Yeah, that is starting to show some of his tallness in his torso. The lankiness. Uncomfortably lanky. Oh, and now we've got a pose that I like. Okay, I'm glad I tried this. This is making me feel better about myself, even though it's so hit and miss whenever I pick up a pen. I'm liking this already. I have to save this. Catch up on chat. Oh my, there's a lot I have to catch up on. Holy cow, I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, people expressing sympathy for King Azo. Yeah, interestingly, my darkest period of my life was when I was already well into being an adult, like deep into college, when the real world was starting to face me and I didn't think that there was anything the real world had to offer me that would ever make me happy. Jackomoth says, and I assume they're talking to me, you mentioned before that you've seen some Illusion Lock. How far have you gotten into it? Not nearly as far as I should be. Only partially into the first channel. Like 5 or 6 episodes or so. If I have to be real with you, I really, really need to catch up on it. I'm a bad boy. I also need to buy Parsons' soundtrack because, God, it's killer. It is killer. Kingslayer says, it's actually nice to mention it now. Been bugging me for a while. It's hard to describe how it felt, though. I'm glad that it feels good to mention. Don't feel silly for bringing it up, King Lazo. I mean, you're allowed to feel how you feel, but that extends to you feeling so strongly about that point in your life that you need to talk about it. Yeah, Illusion Lock is another TGIF series. This game I found. It's a multi-narrative story revolving around a game that a person made specifically to tell a story like Petscop, if you know what Petscop is. Yeah, Kingslayer, you're the one who it was here for my Project Zadia shenanigans. It's another thing in the vein of Diminish, where it's a person made their own game and then made a story around the game and then made a web series out of it. And it has horror elements. Yeah, King Lazo, it's definitely part of the ostracized weird kid experience. Same. The public schools in my state severely lacked in funding and capable staff. It's really bad. We definitely lacked in funding. Luckily, my schools had pretty nice staff that helped me a lot. And that was one of the only things that made me survive school, was the awesome people in the staff that I could hang on to. And stuff like music and band, although I did experience a lot of the same crap in those social environments, but you know, Desi says high school is only nightmarish because I just don't know anybody and I'm very alone and new despite being promised otherwise. I'm sorry. I don't have good advice because so many of my high school problems were very specific and I never knew that exact feeling. Yeah, King Lazo says, with my specific issues, I don't think a lot of teachers really knew how to handle that. I'm sorry. Mental health was just always not a priority. Became less and less of a priority as I went through school. Inexcusable. Yeah, Jackal Moth, I intend to, and I get the sense that it really goes wild after episode 7. Around that time, where I stopped. Based on what people have been saying and the bits I've seen of episodes after that point. King also says that's definitely a reason I really relate to Will. Good. I'm glad that can help you. Yes, the Illusion Lock channel needs more than 400 subs. It's extremely creative. And unique and cool. Back to the chosen one here. Tall young man. With shoulders. He is carrying the whole world on them, so they should be defined. If we're gonna be honest here. No. If he's in this position, then his feet would be facing a relatively similar. Yeah, with the way his hips are oriented. Now that is a tall boy. That's sort of what I'm looking for. At this point, I think. It's hard to tell. But yeah, this is some of that disconcerting tallness that I'm going for. Not that being tall is bad, of course. Absolutely not what I'm getting at. Yeah. Actually. Really? See if I can get a look at this through the... Nope, I can't. Yeah, my initial feeling was correct. At least as far as this exact thing is concerned. Cecilia came back and then left again while I was working there. Goodness gracious. Or no, they were already here while I was looking at chat, I think. Yeah, they were. Phantom says, I've always tried to keep mentally strong. I consider it one of my most important aspects. I need my brain to think. Chris says, I forgot to mention earlier I had a dream about a giant eldritch rainbow space fish that came to me, and now it's an antagonist in my story. That's the good stuff. Oh, Pick, you're fine. You're fine. I'm sorry that this is such a bad time for you. I'm working on... well, I'm not working on it right now. That's part of the problem. I need to work on setting up some stream times that are not this, so that other people can benefit. But you have a great one. I'm sure you're not here anymore, but thanks for showing up, stopping by, shopping by, stowing up. So full disclosure, I'm actually incredibly bad at feeling like I can officiate the best possible way in terms of helping people through things mentally and emotionally. But that's something that I've really enjoyed seeing in this community, is how much everybody is here for each other in the best ways, and it seems like everybody always has great advice. I'm always extremely terrified about giving people advice whenever they're going through immense emotional turmoil. And I'm happy to see everybody in this chat and everybody in the server able to be there for each other. Ah, yes, that's way better. Immediately I could tell. And I don't want me saying that about how bad I am about talking to people about emotional turmoil. I don't want that to dissuade anybody from talking about that stuff in these environments. That's not my goal by saying that. I just usually I'm not going to be the person who is the first to give advice or like say things in general when it comes to that, and I'm sorry about that, but I think in general it's for the best, because I just don't know what to say most of the time, even though I have my own experiences that are a lot to draw from, but it's just so important. Does it work like that whenever it's in this position? Yeah. So, I actually have to get it going more than this way. Ugh. Ah! Well, what do you know? That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. That's... I mean, this stuff never stops. That is a mistake I will make until, like, my freaking end of my life. God, dude. It never ends. No freaking wonder. Like, there's no adjusting angles or anything that will fix that issue. Whenever the hand is just facing the wrong way. It's still weird though. But at least it'll put me on the better track. And yeah, the arm angle needs to be more like this anyway. I want to keep the hand away from his head so we can properly see all of his beautiful fur stuff happening, but it's just kind of unavoidable, I guess. Still looks kind of weird. So broad-shouldered. Goodness. Okay, so starting here. No major issues, I don't think. This was more natural. Yeah, that's it. Don't change that. I think Sonic characters do tend to have more curvy, bendy arms anyway. Is this the wrong side again? No. Yes. No. I'm so freaking... Ah! No, okay. This does work. This does work, you just have to do it like this. I'm such a mess, dude. More like that. Yeah. Yeah. That makes more sense, I think. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm a poo-poo. Super behind on chat again. Really behind. Thank you, Phantom. Yeah, have a good one, Cecilia. I get you, King Azo. Hopefully you feel a little bit better. Hi, Zab. Yeah, you probably said that like 15 minutes ago. I'm just not being a great streamer, man. I hope you're well. Good to see you. I do have a Discord, Kingslayer. Says, I'm truly ancient by YouTube standards. It does get better. Just lurked here a bit, but you guys are really nice. Sorry anyone's going through that stuff. It's really interesting these days, says King Otto, how the world feels both so connected and so isolated at the same time. Talking to people in person seems to be going out of date. Yeah, I think that's a discussion that I won't open up right now, but I feel like there are many, many angles to it, and many facets to it. There's definitely truth to that. Zab says, I wish talking on the phone hadn't become so angst-ridden for everyone. Yeah. Yeah, it's just speaking over text is so low commitment in many ways. So much lower commitment than speaking on the phone. Person becomes used to speaking exclusively through text remotely, a lot of the things associated with speaking on the phone become naturally daunting as a result. Yeah, Zab says, yeah, I'm always scared of bothering people. I should get over it because our culture now is just don't pick up or text back if you don't want to. Yeah, I'm definitely not a conversation starter, so I don't have usually the desire to always start conversations, but I feel you on the not wanting to bother people and being afraid of it. Yeah, I'm definitely not afraid of talking on the phone anymore. I used to be, but I definitely prefer the non-committal text conversation, usually. Or just not be in contact with anyone ever. Yeah, there's also that. I kind of like that sometimes, a lot of the time. How does one draw something like this? It's kind of going toward the camera, isn't it? A little bit. Yeah, this makes more sense, I suppose. Angling it that way. I don't know. I don't know. I'm ruining it. Of course, that's assuming it was ever close to a state of near correctness. Yeah, the angle of the fist kind of changed. And so the angle of the thumb should be more like this now, right? Because So I make so many micro adjustments that I lose track of what's actually happening to the objects in space, so... Phantom says, how does one draw? I think I scared the kitten when I said that. So maybe you shouldn't. Maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know how to draw, man. Doesn't mean I'm bad at it, I just don't know how. Zab says, oh, by the way, there is some Udemy courses on coding and drawing if anybody's interested in that. Those things are always on sale. Always. Time to ruin this. Tear my hair out. Oh, now we've got an interesting head angle here. What is the muzzle going to be doing here? Maybe. Teeth. That didn't go nearly as poorly as it usually does. Assuming this is what I end up with. It looks alright so far. Wow. Usually I spend like 18,000 years trying to get the right facial expression, and then it ends up being scrapped anyway because I hate it. This is looking like a pleasant boy. Something ain't right. Alright, Cal. Have a good rest. Good to see you. It's looking like something. King also says, please check the comments on Diminished Premiere. I believe I know what you're talking about. Bruh moment. How many are there now? 13 bruh moments. At this point, what can I do? This needs to look more just like raw happiness instead of like he's planning something very dire. Because right now it looks like one of those and not the other. not in the way that I want. Now we get to the part where I start making it look worse with every single, like, when I'm trying to get it to look just right, every single change makes it look worse. Tal's Prawa. Suki Pepper Pelt says, "Hey, can I pay you, say? Can I just shove my student grants your way? Please don't. Your art makes the world better. My world is better." I'm really happy that you like it so much. To answer your question seriously, you can buy the Diminish album and present as much money as you want for the album, but you don't have to do anything like that. I'm just happy to be making anything in my life at all, and it's just a plus that anyone has ever seen it. And it's unthinkable that people are liking it this much, and this many people are liking it, and people are really, really being affected by it. It's nothing I'll ever be able to wrap my head around, but thank you for the sentiment. Also, I hope you're doing well. Alright, Glitch, see you. Yeah, I need to soften his eye a little bit here. Just like that? Is that all it takes? Maybe. That's gonna become one of my staple sayings, is maybe. try this one, at least. Yeah, that looks a bit more happy-go-lucky. Here's the kicker, though. Yeah. It'd be like that for your boy. What if he actually had like a... Just let his head fur get just super long. Tall tales, tall tales, tall tales, tall tales, tall tales, tall tales. Yay! Now I can leave this session feeling like something good came out of it. Something that I'm gonna look at tomorrow and be like, yay! That looks like the thing that I'm writing about. And... it makes me happy. Yeah, compare that to like an hour and a half before that. This is the sort of variance that you can see from me in one drawing session. It's frustrating. I was trying to accomplish basically the same thing in both of these. One of them is just way better. Alright, people talking about their creative outlets and stuff. Zab says, I write really short stories and do comedy stuff. Not so much since COVID, sorry. I'm so amused when Nightmare Masterclass says Will's an improv person, because I actually am. Nice! Desi. Oh, baby boy hurt! Who hurt him? Chris says, my main creative outlet is drawing and role-playing. Nice. Desi says, I've been drawing recently and some writing and role-playing. Desi says, I wanted to smash my art tablet though, so now I am mouse only until I think I'm good enough to try that again. I mean, you saw me an hour and a half ago. You got here fairly late, but when I was drawing this, I was hating my entire life and everything about everything. Art is so infuriating, dude. Visual art is so infuriating. Phantom says, gotta go to sleep. They both look really good. Oh, thank you. This is the one that I'm super proud of, though. And I'm really, really happy that... Oh, man. Look at the tall boy! Tails is only 14 here, by the way. Just a ridiculous growth spurt. Those little lanky limbs! Yes, this is it! This is what I wanted! This is what I've been seeing in my head. This is exactly what I've been seeing in my head. It's such a catharsis. Whenever you finally achieve that moment. But yeah, good night, Phantom. It was good to see you. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, King Ozzo. The last art that I saw from King Ozzo was beautiful. It was 80s workout video Apollo. Desi says they put their art in the server. Do you have a Twitter? Any sort of internet handle that I could... First of all, is it okay if I share it on stream? I have to get in the habit of asking that first. There's still 16 people waiting in the premiere. What is my life, dude? Dawn Soda. Yeah. Big hand, long leg, big feet. That is Apollo, indeed. That is also Tails. I'm so happy with this drawing. I'm so glad that I decided to try it again. Yes! Yes! Look at them. Look at the them boy. I always go straight to wingdings for some reason. Let's make that a bit easier on the eyes. Oh, that's not easier on the eyes. works. And the darker works too. Thank you so much for the fan art, Desi. Ah, look at the smile. Look at the earrings. Look at the earrings. Nice. I hope this premiere time is good for as many people as possible. That is one of the toughest things to balance, and you can't please everybody, but hopefully 5 p.m. Eastern time will be alright for people. That's usually been when most of my premieres are. It's like 5 or 6. No Comic Sans! Play Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Oh, I'm so happy with this! Ah. A bit more strong to match up with the shoulder definition and everything, if I'm going to commit to that. I do think that looks pretty good on him. Boo! No. Just give him biceps and stuff. Now that would be cursed. That is what they call cursed, I think. At least for the exact thing I'm going for. I mean, I'm sure plenty of people just think what I'm doing with the shoulders here is already cursed. I wouldn't argue with them. Yeah, and by me having to define that, it kind of gives him pecs as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to switch off and then start working on this. I need to go back and keep showing off that art. Sorry. Yes, this is adorable. Thembo. No, the size is totally fine, don't worry. King also says, I wonder if there's more clothed Apollo art than there is unclothed, which is normal. Bootyful. Chris says, oh yeah, someone asked about posting art in the server. I'll pop some original work in there. Haven't made new fan art beyond the water gun joke, yeah. That was wonderful. Also, I think this is my first time seeing this. Did you say that already? This was your first time in the stream? I really loved that art. So thank you for making that. Gotta say, it's interesting having 16 comments on my premiere, like 3 hours after it went up, and they're all saying exactly the same thing. That's a bro moment right there. Yeah, it's good to have you here, Chris. And, I want to make sure that I learn how to pronounce this correctly. Bisuki Pepperpelt. I've been also noticing your comments on the videos, and they've been warming my heart. So thank you for that. Oh, Zab. See you, Zab. Or wait. Yeah, Zab is leaving, it looks like, and Desi, it looks like. No, just Zab. Okay, sorry. I'm confusing myself. But yeah, thanks for showing up, Zab. I hope you have a great one. One brain cell among the 16 of us. That would be generous. A full brain cell. I don't know, man. Oh, Red is streaming. I'm a poop head. I guess he hasn't been going super long. Better hop off. I was thinking about hopping off in a few minutes anyway. I can hop off and watch him. Sorry. God, I really hope doing all this bike training is going to help strengthen up my hamstrings. I'm so sick of hamstring pain. It'd be nice if you could help to loosen up my lower back as well. I'd love to be able to not be in constant pain this summer for once, like I was the last 2 summers. Bisuki, yes. I very, 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 very much like tennis. I'm a bit obsessed. In fact, I have a amateur tennis YouTube channel called Saria Tennis. It's one of my alternate channels, and I'm also I'm so invested in watching pro tennis that I actually paused it completely while I was working on the tails, because I just don't even want to miss a single point, especially in a tournament, in a Grand Slam like the Australian Open. And yeah, I picked up the sport playing it 2.5, coming up on 3 years ago now. Went over to the courts and tried out my first serves ever, and then got just head over heels obsessed with improving and playing all the time. I love it very much. Take another look at my drawing. Oh, that makes me so happy. It's not perfect, but it makes me happy. I really am happy about how happy I am. But yeah, do you like tennis, Bisuki? Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll watch a few more points and stuff. I'll put it in the name of my comic as well. Here. Ooh, what? See, this is what happens whenever I try to watch tennis and do other things at the same time. Oh, that's disgusting. I'm catching up on yesterday. Really love badminton. Badminton is sick. Okay, I love all racket sports, honestly. I've been watching a lot of table tennis, and I haven't started following badminton yet, but I know I'm gonna really, really love it. And I love watching it anytime I see clips and stuff. It's not like I'm gonna be... That is the name of my fan comic series that I'm working on. Very, 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 very sporadically. And I do believe it just straight up ends with a comma. That's how the title... Something like that. Oh, and I end up working in the wrong layer. Poopy. Whatever. And I missed a bunch of points. Gosh. Yeah, something like that. I'm not going to worry too much about it right now. Sorry, I haven't looked at chat in a while. Bisuki says that's really cool. Yeah, I read that one. Chris says, "Dear Sonic, stylized with a comma. Nice. Nice." Desi says, "I've never been too into Sonic, but I'm very interested in this. Who hurt him? Ooh." Bisuki says, "Oh man, that's really exciting. I want to experience that." Oh, I'm an old school Sonic kid. Sorry about that noise. I'm an old school Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and Sonic Adventure are the video games I put the most hours into date. Ciao, Garden Gang! Book Nerd says, "Don't know if you saw Say, but B finished the third scene of the AMV. I did see." Huh! Ah! It's very, very exciting. What song is this going to be using? It's so relevant. I'm gonna rewind this. I'm a fool. Take another look at Desi's art. Ah. Sorry, I got a little burp as soon as I tried to make a noise of happiness, and it just ended up being really weird. I'm glad that this is getting people interested in Dear Sonic. I have two chapters finished, completely scripted, so that's quite a bit of content, actually. If you're a huge fan of Sonic, Bisuki, I wonder if you recognize these shoes. Especially mentioning the games you mentioned. That pretty much gives it away. But also, these are super sketchy, so they're probably unrecognizable, to be honest. It's called Nothing Makes Sense Anymore by Mike Shinoda. Very intrigued. That's super cool. I'm glad that you guys are interested. I'll keep you hanging, Bisuki. Sorry to ask you, and then once you're sad about not knowing it, then to not answer. That's kind of mean, but... If you saw the other side of the shoes, it might be a bit more obvious. King Hustle, shh! Those shoes do look pretty good on him, actually. Okay, so yeah, it's not exactly a spoiler, because, I mean, it's revealed in the first chapter. King Hustle! Just throwing out his... So, here's what my first idea for the title actually was, if this answers your question. Here's what the original title was going to be. Does that answer your question? So it's not really a spoiler, and I will answer the question about the shoes now. These are Sonic's shoes from Sonic Adventure 2. Congratulations, King Azo. So yeah, if you thought that Diminish dealt enough with death to satisfy me, well, apparently not. But also, to be fair, Dear Sonic, I was working on Dear Sonic way before Diminish ever became a thing. Yeah, it's not like a huge spoiler. I mean, it's revealed at like the climax of the first chapter, so it technically is. But I mean, it's a spoiler that would be fairly obvious to anybody walking in and seeing the intro. The reveal is just a formality. No, you shouldn't feel like a dingus. I mean, like I said, this is so sketchy that it's hard to tell. I love how tall he is. This is the exact way that I've been meaning to draw Tails ever since I conceived him for the Dear Sonic comic, and I've never been able to nail what he looks like until this drawing. This is extremely, extremely cathartic. Where it's a tallness that you can tell is just sort of uncomfortable for him. Because, like, Sonic would come up to about here, probably. Something like this. Like, this is where his ears would be, is like there. The very tip of him. Desi says, Diminish is just Dear Teddy. I find that interesting. It's kind of Dear Teddy and Dear Will at the same time. Thank you, Bisuki. Thank you for the congratulations. This is a very happy moment for me, honestly. It's cool to be able to share this little headcanon thing I've been writing with people from a different fandom of mine, from a thing that just randomly happened 3 months ago. And now people are... I'm talking to people about this fan story that's really surreal. Also, I ended up not watching the tennis again. I'm gonna rewind again. But yeah, this is a story exploring a world where, obviously, Sonic is no longer with us. Sonic is gone from the world, and Tails, like a lot of the other hero-type people, sort of are dealing with other things, and then Tails takes it upon himself to try and take his place, for better or for worse, as far as his life is concerned. Because he ends up doing a great job, but, I mean, you see what it does to him. Physically. Just physically. Because he's the type of personality that takes it way more seriously than Sonic would, and it's so fun to explore. It's so much fun. And they're, like, I think the chapters so far are all character studies on, like, the individual people in the Sonic universe and the direction their lives have been going in since the event. And there's something that each of them is dealing with that is like this this cognitive dissonance. Like, they all have this cognitive dissonance going on that none of them are quite sure if they're ever going to be able to move past, and there's kind of like the reality of that. Just kind of the way things are. But also growing, figuring out how to grow as a result. And there's just good old fun. Good old classic Sonic fun. Desi asks, is tennis just badminton but different? I mean, you could, to an extent, you could say that about most racket sports, I think. And you could, to a greater extent, you could say all sports are kind of like all other sports but different. to some extent. Especially sports that involve the use of a ball or some sort of object where you're you know you know what I'm trying to say, probably. But tennis and badminton aren't super similar, but they're similar enough that if you're a fan of one of them, there is a visceral appeal when you're watching the other one. I'm very entertained by badminton. So what you're saying is Will is dead. No. Chris says, right, Steven after not surviving was a joke, I think. But then everyone and their grandmother made a main protag dead AU. And you know what? Good for them. Bisaki says, I recently went through that with a character too. They've existed forever and I just finally drew them the way they wanted. Feels so good. Oh, yeah, that's cool that you're able to watch that through a lens of empathy. That's cool. Congratulations to you as well. King also says, Eggman becomes an alcoholic due to the guilt of killing Sonic. So it wasn't Eggman. And here's the other thing, now that you bring that up, thank you for bringing that up, because Tails and Eggman end up... throughout the time between Sonic's death and the beginning of the series, Tails and Eggman sort of unwittingly develop this sort of depraved friendship. And one of the first things you see in the series is Eggman attacks the town that Tails and Amy are living in, that Amy is now the mayor of, and you find out that Eggman only attacked the town because, like, Tails lost a bet between the two of them, and it's just like them having fun with each other, and then afterward they're playing chess with each other. They just have this running competitive thing going between them where they both are pretending that they hate each other, but clearly it's just this giant bromance. It makes me feel very good. And obviously there's a lot I'm gonna have to unravel about that with the implications of that, with the person that Eggman was. I mean, just like pushing back all of the cartoonish nature of it. There are serious implications to the fact that Tails is friends with him, and I'm gonna be exploring that. Bisaki says, thanks so much for sharing. Oh wait, let me go back a little bit. Glitch says, sudden burst of energy, I have no idea why I'm back for now until I get tired again. Welcome back! I have the sudden burst of energy as well, because I'm talking about Dear Sonic, and this is the first chance I've ever had, except for like one person. Bisaki says, thanks so much for sharing, I love that stuff, you're real good at writing characters from what I've seen so far. Thank you, so I'm sure it'll be a real treat. Do you have a favorite Sonic character? This boy right here, one of my favorite characters in my entire life ever. Because I don't know if there is a character that I relate to more than Tails throughout my life. When I was young, you know, Tails has been everything to me throughout my life. And so this was inevitable. Just making a series just starring him, he is the star. And it's kind of the best idea for me writing a Sonic story, because eventually, like, I'm gonna end up making things a lot about Tails and no matter what I would do, so this is this is a good way to do it. Dizzy says, basketball is just golf, but different. Yeah, it's kind of a bad argument that I set up there, where like sports are all mostly the same, just different. It's a huge, if we're gonna call it that, a cop out sort of thesis, but but yeah, badminton and tennis are definitely similar in aesthetic ways that make them, at least for me, enjoyable in similar ways. King also says, I actually love that so much. Bisiki loves that as well. Desi loves it. Thank you all. Then Desi says, yeah. Desi says, that's great. I love Nice Eggman. My back just cracked in like 5 spots. Pain. I'm sorry. Chris says, is tennis just badminton but more deadly? I don't know which ball is more deadly if it hits you. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thought, because the badminton shuttlecock, whenever it first leaves the strings, is traveling at the fastest speeds, I think, of any object in any sport. I mean, of course, if we're not talking about race cars, but it's at a similar speed, like, as the fastest speed that you'll see a race car reach. So even then. So, like, if you got hit point blank, or less, that would be pretty serious, if it hits the right spot. But yeah, tennis balls, at their usual state in motion, are a bit more dangerous, but luckily, with how soft they are, it usually is not a problem. But we saw in the US Open last year that a just mildly moving tennis ball, if it hits you in the throat, is serious. And I'm not surprised, because this is so fragile. This is so freaking fragile. And that kind of terrifies me in its own right, but... Bisuki says, yeah, I had a huge crush on Tails when I was a kid. I used to have a giant Tails plush from the fair. I can also see the similarities between Will and Tails also. That's very interesting. And that interests me as well, because Will, personality-wise, I've said this a few times, but I'll say it again as many times as needed when new people come in. Will is just my personality. I'm not really putting anything on whenever I'm being Will. I'm just being myself. We just have different life stories, different events that happen to us throughout our lives, but we have, like, the same personalities. So it's interesting that you also find that Will is similar to Tails in many ways, because that's, I feel like, where I was able to find so many points of relatability with Tails being me. But yeah, you can see I have a Tails plush now that used to belong to my sister, because she was the huge Tails fan. She announced herself first. And so, like with other characters that I ended up having my favorites that were hers as well, like Legolas in the Lord of the Rings series was also my favorite character, and it was hers first, so I felt like I had to be unique and then choose somebody different. But it never worked. And it was like that with Tails. Like, Tails was her favorite first, and so I tried to make Knuckles my favorite. It didn't work. I still like Knuckles, but just I don't think even at this point right now, I don't think I love a fictional character more than I love Tails, just viscerally. Rayla comes close, but Tails has been a lifelong. He's like the one in terms of my liking a character. Yeah, let me look up the speeds that a shuttlecock can reach. Reaching speeds of up to 201 miles per hour. So yeah. A badminton shuttlecock can travel faster than a Eurostar train at its maximum in-service speed of 186 miles per hour. But yeah, Book Nerd says, God, it's weird sharing names with your character, I bet. Oh, hello, Nice Den. Welcome. They say, hey, watched Diminish last evening, and this was really great. Thank you for making it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for coming in and telling me so. It makes me feel really good. I'm super happy that you liked it. Oh, Desi says the back cracking was weirdly satisfying. Yeah. Yeah, that happens. Please More Cat says, we thought Man was the most dangerous game, but turns out it's actually tennis. Man is a pretty dangerous game. Human. Actually, where is this in the recording? Okay. Hopefully it got enough from last night so that I can see the end of this match. This is a nice point. Oh my god! Ah! Sorry, microphone. Rip microphone users. Rip headphone users and rip me. Oh, wow. I'm watching this point again. Oh, Shapovalov's backhand is so ridiculously gorgeous to look at. Oh! That's such a good forehand slice! Are you kidding me? Kigazo says, Sarah, you better not die in a tennis accident. I won't forgive you. I'll do my freaking best, dude. I promise. I don't ever want to die. It won't be willingly, ever. Just don't die in general. See, yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Much agreed, I have to say. Tennis Epic Moments compilation. Those are very fun. I have made one for myself as well. It got way more views than I was ever expecting, and I don't know how I feel about that, because to a lot of people it didn't come off a very pleasing way in terms of my humility, which is very fair. But it also improperly showed the skill of my opponents, who were all basically, like, especially the main person in the video, is way better than me. Which is why it felt so good to get all those highlights, where I won all those cool points. In the words of a familiar girl, thank you for being alive. Thank you for being alive. I mean it. God, you have enriched my life. All of you. Oh, it's just impossible to describe. Desi says, if you ever start to die, just say no. You can't legally die. I'll give it a good stern talking to. Don't you worry. I'll probably cut it off at midnight here. It seems like a good way to get myself to stop. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I'll check the tweeter. Speaking of body parts cracking, that just happened to my foot. It was very, very cracky just now. Wow. It was like an elastic sort of crack too. It's probably shouldn't talk about it because it's very cringeworthy. In a more physical way of just reacting to the mention of something that's really squeamish. Chris says, on that note, Teddy has such a perfect name. Oh, I'm glad you think so. So, the story behind Teddy is, at least the name Teddy. So the kitty that you hear in all the episodes, he had a twin brother whose name was Teddy. And, he would always come in and hang out with me as I was going to bed, and was a huge face nuzzler and loved having his belly scratched. Just always made my day better whenever I could give him some love. And early 2017, he very suddenly came down with liver problems and passed away. And I miss him very much. Rekov, hello, first of all. Good to see you. Asks what the song is. Probably Hugway Different Waves feature Nohone and Tohaj. Don't know if those are any of the correct pronunciations. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm playing it through the Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio, Beats to Relax / Study to. Hugway Different Waves feature... Yep, this is what it says in the stream for what's playing right now. But yeah, the cat that you always hear in the episodes, that was his twin brother, was Teddy. Thank you for the wishes for Teddy. When all this is said and done, I'll probably show a picture of the real Teddy. The IRL Teddy. It feels appropriate to wait until the very end of the series as a whole. Oh, it's 11:59. That means I have to go soon. Still 11 people waiting for the premiere. Wow. I'm a very lucky person. I say it so often, it's just so true. I don't know what I did other than make it a series, but, you know, it just seems too lucky. Many other people are not nearly this lucky. Bisuki says, also being able to see a little bit of your room in the stream is funny because it's kind of almost exactly how I imagined Will's room in principle. With some athletic stuff around, some nerdy stuff. Yeah, that's funny. That makes me happy. King Ozzo says, I think that if they were aware of it, they would be honored. They'd go, he was, if you think his brother is loud, oh goodness, Teddy knew how to project. It was gorgeous. Yeah, I don't know if I would show Teddy's picture in the actual series. What I meant was, like, in this sort of environment. I'll wait until I show Teddy. It's missing the Sonic posters for 2009. Yeah, I don't really have much Sonic-related stuff. I have a Tails shirt that was my sister's at first. That's about it. I'm frightfully short on Sonic memorabilia. But yeah, I said I'd go at midnight, and it is now past midnight, so I suppose I should do that. As always, I don't want to go, because I'm having so much freaking fun. This is everything to me. More wonderful animal noises from me, yeah. Yeah, what is Kitty's name? Kitty's name is Frisky. It was Frisky and Teddy. But yeah, everybody... Oh... Never, ever, 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 ever able to properly express what you mean to me. Just by being here. And appreciating what I do. It blows my mind that I can just sit here and do absolutely nothing. And like 10 people are sitting around having the time of their lives. This makes me very happy. God, thank you. I wish you all the very best that life has to offer, and I hope you have a great one. And until next time, dream on, friends. Peace. Hope to see you in the premiere tomorrow for the next Diminish episode. Can't wait.